Hello, YouTube friends. I'm going to capture some of the RT coverage of the Berlin protests against lockdowns and masks. This morning it was reported on CBC there were maybe 18,000 people in Berlin. Ha ha ha! Right. CBC, the official voice for the man, told us 18,000. Well, these protests reach into the hundreds of thousands, clearly. But no, it's only 18. Please, no opposition to any of the things that we're telling you. Don't bring on any conversation, any dialogue between experts. No, it's the only experts we want to listen to are the ones that confirm the narrative we're trying to create. I'll just play a little bit of this to show that there are actual people of conscience out there, and I was going to attend Ottawa protests. I couldn't do it this weekend, but I see no coverage of the protests in Ottawa today. There's supposedly the line Canada.com has announced a protest, and they said 200,000 people. Well, I really hope there is a huge turnout to protest these medical lockdowns. These are unprecedented times in how people can so easily be coerced and terrified into doing something which is against their own benefit. And I still maintain that when I think about this mask thing, everyone who has any kind of logic and reasoning left realizes the mask is like trying to keep a sand particle off your feet on the beach wearing flip-flops. These particles, if they exist the way they say they exist, would go through masks and fibers. There is no problem. Nothing will protect you from these little terrorists out there. But I think the mask, personally, I think this is going back to 1933 Germany and the 7 years leading up, or 6 years leading up to the Second World War. People were branded with stars, the Star of David. People ended up on their clothes with the Star of David to identify the evildoers. And the mask is a version of that, except those who are complying. We are now being forced, mandated to wear something that has no relevance, that has no significance to a rational human being, but it is to identify the people who comply. So with the mask thing, there can be a kind of support created that the more people comply, it's like the herd complex, the herd phenomenon, where the more people do a certain thing, the more that thing is represented or accepted to be true. And I think the mask identifies to those behind the curtains who are orchestrating this. The masks basically confirm who are willing to take the vaccination, who are willing to go along with this narrative. And that is the same as in Germany. It is a slight variation on this, that the evildoer was identified with the Star of David on their shirts, on their jackets, and now the compliant ones are identified with the mask. Let's just listen to what's going on in Berlin today. Why isn't this working? There we go. Oh, my brave browser is not responding. I wonder why. Here we go, maybe.
Noch links. Ich bin kein Verschwörer, ich bin kein Antisemit und ich bin auch kein Corona-Leugner. Ich war als Mannschaftssportler immer einer, der offen und ehrlich seine Meinung gesagt hat. Denn nur so gibt es Entwicklung.
Speeches are being made at this rally. The person speaking now is talking about the fact he's not a traitor. He's not a denier of COVID. He's basically questioning the numbers that are being presented and the facts as we see unfold. The number of people affected is so small considering the overreaction by governments worldwide, the same way everywhere. This is quite unusual. No one has ever witnessed almost 200 countries on the planet doing exactly the same thing. There's got to be some opposition somewhere. There is no opposition on this one.
Rückblickend, nachdem ich vor 3 Wochen meine Meinung laut gesagt habe, bin ich öffentlich beschuldigt worden. Man schreibt, ich sei Antisemit und Rechtsradikal.
So this fellow who's speaking said that he spoke out against the mandates and the directives, and he was targeted by people, and he was called an anti-Semite and a traitor to the country.
Ich möchte in meinem Land meine Meinung sagen dürfen, und zwar laut.
He wants to express his opinion in his country where there is law, the law protecting people with an opinion. You can still state your opinion. It's called the Grundgesetz. It's the Charter of Rights in Germany. He's demanding to be allowed to state his opinion, what he feels to be true.
Und ich möchte hier was klarstellen. Vor 21, das war nicht mein Lieblings.
Oops, cut off. I guess he's in the background. I don't know. This is RT switching. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say right now. And I'll put this up to show that there is opposition, and especially in Germany. Look at these people walking around, no masks. If there's 1 in 1,000 that wears a mask, they're not afraid. They're even touching each other. Next thing you'll know, they'll be hugging each other. Oh my. Please, no hugging. No interaction between people, please.